people that showed up for the march that wasn't there for the worship service.
Sure.
There were people that came to the reception that weren't at either one of those two things. So, you know, we really wanted it to be open and accessible and for folks to be able to come together and talk. So we had a great day of people. And what's amazing to me is how many of the folks have relationships with each other across denominations.
So much embracing going on.
Exactly.
It's as if people, like a reunion.
And they would walk in and they would say, "Oh, I haven't seen you in,
Sure.
years. You know, we used to volunteer together." Or, you right here is a conversation with one of our board members. You know, was having a conversation with somebody who was a previous board member, and you know, there's a lot going on there.
There was a video playing so that people could see ministries of the council. And then a wonderful cake, building bridges for 75 years.
That cake was done by an award-winning cake artist from Sodexo. Yeah.
And welcome to the 75th anniversary celebration of the Broome County Council of Churches, which is one of the most wonderful and outstanding organizations in our community. Thank you for being with us on this great day. My name is Tom Kelly, and I am chair of the planning committee for this anniversary celebration. You know, with your support and participation, the Broome County Council of Churches engages hundreds of people to serve thousands of people in need in our community every year. We feed, we minister, we advocate, and we care for those in need. Thank you for standing with us for this very worthy purpose. In particular, 3 staff members need to be acknowledged for their great work on the event, and they are Eric Jensen, Melinda Ravender, and Keating Phillips.
So stories are important to us at the Council of Churches because without them, you wouldn't give any money to us. Not only wouldn't you give, but we wouldn't be able to tell exactly what we do at the council. And I'll tell you, when I think about Ray Osterhout, I'll have to tell you one story, and this was we had just had the surprise storm in October in Buffalo the year that I was recruited. It was called the October Surprise. They called it because they couldn't come up with a better name. So we had just had this, and so we were living on a generator in my house, and the generator had just failed, and there was all kinds of stuff, and then the power came on, and I finally got to watch the Bills play. So I'm sitting in front of the TV, and the Bills are playing miserably, and they're absolutely doing a horrible thing. And all of a sudden, I get a phone call, and it's Ray Osterhout on the other end of the line. He says, "Can I speak to the Reverend Dr. Joseph Sellepack?" And at this point, I'm not thinking that it's a job interview, but that this is my friend who's calling to rub it in. The Bills were playing so bad, and I'm sitting there, and I go, I'll look for the Reverend Doctor, but I can't. I don't think I'm going to be able to find him. and Ray then says, "Well, that's too bad, because I have a job interview for him." And I go, "Well, are you from the Broome County Council of Churches?" Then I just found him. Here he is. And you put up with me for 10 years. So
There's the cake once again, and Joe Sellepack is the guest on Encounter today. I'm Jeff Kellam, pretending to be the host while you're the guest. So that was the celebration as it took place at the First Congregational Church on the streets of Binghamton, and then winding up at the Doubletree for the big party and some food and fellowship around the tables. How does one close the city down in order to do a parade? What kind of structure did you have to work through to do that?
We early on had determined that we wanted to have something of a march because the symbolic nature of it, we do the hunger walk every year. There's just something in a march that kind of spoke to us. And so we contacted the city and told them about it. And so this was almost a year before the actual march happened.
Yeah.
And so we contacted the city, and they agreed to shut it down for that period of time. We had to get permits, of course.
Sure.
And we also put up a banner. So there was a banner over Court Street.
Yeah.
And that cost money. And so there was, there was a lot of fundraising that was going on at the same time, so that we would be able to pay for a lot of the work that we were doing. And then halfway through, we found out that we needed some police there, because we wanted to make sure that not only that the parade route was going to be safe, but also that the bridge would be closed off.
Sure. Yeah.
So the police were there helping us negotiate those things, and so that required a little money to help with their benevolence fund.
But a 75th anniversary only takes place every 75 years?
Yeah. That's right.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that all of the the marchers were safe, and the rest of it. It was a great day.
Yeah.
I really, and we couldn't have asked for a better weather.
It was perfect.
Yeah, the weather that day was perfect. It was beautiful. I didn't even need the jacket I was wearing.
Yeah.
The only reason why I had it on was because
The
it was
logo.
showing off the logo and the rest of it, right? Yeah. And so we wanted to.
This was October, was it?
It was November.
November. Oh.
And
okay.
then 1 week later, we had that big snowstorm that came in November. So it was what a difference a week made.
Yep,
perfect. So it was perfect. It was perfect weather. Great crowd. People were very excited and very positive about their relationships with each other.
Yeah.
Everything that we wanted in a day was there.
Let's look forward a little bit. We've been looking back to 75 years, telling a little bit of the story, and then the big celebration. What's ahead for the Broome County Council of Churches?
Well, we're continuing a lot of the same things that we did before. I mean, we're Chow is having record-breaking years this year, and in the last year. So a lot of our programming is going to be very similar. We continue to reach out to congregations in our area. Just recently, we had a massive snowstorm that hit us, and there were about 160 people that were weren't able to get out of their house safely, and so we helped with congregations, First Presbyterian Church in Johnson City. Then there was Union Center Christian Church and First United Methodist Shenango Bridge. A number of the congregations all came forward and offered volunteers.
Wonderful.
And they went around, and we helped them by calling the folks and doing all of that. So there was a lot of work that went on.
You bought how many snow shovels?
I bought 40 snow shovels, because BU, the students there, the student groups, they had bodies, but they didn't have any snow shovels in order to help people.
It's not one of the things on the list of things you take to school,
no.
even in upstate New York.
On no list will you find a snow shovel as being one. But
right.
But we bought 40 snow shovels. That was interesting, walking out of Agway, I had 20, and we had already bought 20, and so they were like looking at us, going, "What are you doing?" And we said, "Well, we're helping people get out of their house."
Yeah.
And they go, "Well, we should give you a deal on that." I said, "Yes, you should."
Yeah, you should. That's good. All right. So it's not just looking forward with the programs that are already in place, but responding years ago to the ACA shootings, and now to this snowstorm, which did more than inconvenience people; it endangered people.
It really did.
So it was a wonderful response.
And so when we're thinking about emerging needs in our neighborhood, we're not saying that we're always going to have a need for CHOW or a need for faith and action volunteers, but one of the things that has happened for a long time is that the council has evolved in relationship to the needs that emerge within the community. And the Ramp It Up was something that we saw as after the floods.
Yeah.
We saw it as being something that was necessary to make people safer in their homes.
That's to build wheelchair ramps for
Right.
folks who needed
So-
accessibility.
So that was something that we started, a few years ago, and since then, we've had about 120, 130 ramps that we built.
Very quickly, the Lives of Commitment breakfast to honor volunteers is coming up on May
The 4th.
and that will be at the
Doubletree.
also. So,
Same room.
Yeah.
Same room.
Yeah. Joe Sellepack, Executive Director, Head Honcho of the Broome County Council of Churches, our guest today on the Encounter program. Thank you for taking us back and looking at that celebration last fall. I'm Jeff Kellam, thanking you for being with us for this Encounter program, produced by the Broome County Council of Churches in cooperation with WBNG and with audio on WMBF. So thank you, and hope that in the coming week you will be gentle with people and with yourself.